What's going on, guys? Joe and Kev coming at you again with another video, and today we're going to talk about why you should get your own website and steer away from platforms like Etsy and so forth. Kevin's going to touch on a list of the different options that you could possibly go to, and I'll touch on some of the benefits.
First off, that's a nice cut, dude. I like
Thanks,
the haircut.
bro. Yeah, you guys noticed that?
I actually got one too, but you guys probably don't even notice. So having your own website is super, super important for Etsy sellers, for dropshippers. For dropshippers, I know you guys sell on eBay, other platforms that you guys might choose to dropship from. But I'm not telling you not to sell on those platforms. You should absolutely sell on every platform that you can, but also have your own website. For Etsy sellers and handmade, Amazon handmade, people that make their own stuff, smaller companies. I know a lot of you get a lot of sales from Etsy, from Amazon handmade, but it's also very, very critical for you guys to have your own website too. Joe and I will talk about it. I'm going to talk about my experience also as a seller when I didn't have my own website and why I highly recommend it. And he's going to talk about the dropshipper's point of view since that's what he has experience in. So why don't you talk about the dropshippers? I'll talk about sellers, and we'll make it go. We'll go from there.
Sounds good. So just one point that I want to point out is the reason why we're kind of pushing this to you guys is more because, number one, the most important reason is you can't get removed from your own website. You know, if you have your own website, it's yours. If anything happens, you own the domain. You can't get removed from a site like Etsy and Amazon Handmade, Amazon whatever, for any reason that may come up. You own the domain, so you're set for pretty much life. It's a really important aspect. You control your own traffic. That is a little bit of a downside, like Kevin was mentioning. If you're on Etsy or Amazon, they bring the traffic to you, but you're getting you're getting more people to your store.
So this actually benefits both buyers and sellers. So I mean, for dropshippers and Etsy and handmade sellers, everything he's saying works both ways.
Exactly.
So basically something that's really critical that happened to me. I was selling on Etsy. I think some of you guys might know the story. I was doing really, really well after 6 months. All my stuff were top sellers on Etsy, and out of nowhere, I got kicked off of Etsy, and they didn't believe my items were handmade. I gave them a tour of my factory, everything, and yet they still said that this isn't our privacy policy. We can just remove people at any time, and I was out of luck. And after researching it, this actually happens all the time, like off of Amazon, off of eBay, off of Etsy. What I heard some bigger companies do, I don't want to mention any names because I don't want to get kicked off.
Really big companies.
Yeah, I don't want to get kicked off their platform. But if you're selling something really, really well, they'll actually go and source that product and sell it themselves and put your stuff at the 10th page, and theirs will be like top choice, for those of you guys who know what I'm talking about. But so it's critical having your own website. Also, in every package that you ship, that's eBay, Etsy, Amazon, whatever it is, if you're not doing Amazon FBA, I always put like, hey, get 20% off your next order, get 30% off your next order, and I'll slip it in their package. Once you go on simplicity.com, once you go on my website, that way you get more and more customers onto your own website. Also, a lot of these websites don't even give you your customer's email address. I know Etsy does, but eBay and Amazon don't do that, so you want these email addresses. When you come up with new things, you can keep remarketing them. You can also save on fees. Like, look, I'm all about selling on every platform. I'm not telling you to sell on any platform. But if you can get that customer to buy directly from your store, that is amazing. You're saving a ton of money. You're getting traction to your website. They're going to tell your friends. They don't have to, a lot of people, when they buy something off of your Amazon store, or eBay, or Etsy, they have to go looking for it again, or which one did I favorite, or whatever.
That's a great point. That's like, they'll say, oh, I got it on Etsy, but they wouldn't say, oh, it's a simplicity product. Like, they would say, oh, I just got it somewhere on Etsy. So it would be harder for their friends to find it unless they have the direct link. So.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, with all these different, there's, Shopify, BigCommerce, Volusion, Big Cartel. There's so many different options to choose from now, and they make it so easy to build your own website where you don't even need someone to build it. If you have a little bit of... I'm terrible with computers, and I build my own website.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. I'm terrible with that kind of stuff. If I can do it, if we can do it, you can do it. I mean, I don't know. It's so easy to do. If you guys have any questions, need help, post it in the group. The group will help you. There's so many people that are selling on platforms like Shopify. I personally use Shopify. It's easy. But this is super, super critical for you guys to make a website. Don't lag on this. Don't say I'll do it next month, 6 months. If I had my own website when I first started selling on eBay, it would be a completely different world. Like, I've had my own website for, what is it, like 3 months?
Yeah,
not even.
Minimum. Yeah.
Like a month and a half, 2 months, and I'm getting sales now. You know, imagine if I had it for 5, 6 years. Like, people would constantly come. I would have so many more email addresses. My business would be way, way bigger.
I would say the one downside, though, is you do have to drive your own traffic. I mean, you have to build a brand around this. There is a lot of hustle and a lot of work that goes into bringing your own traffic to your store. So if you can do that, you're golden because, you know, they know your brand now. So definitely keep that in mind, that it's not going to be, you know, instant sales like you would get on Etsy and stuff.
It's not going to be instant at all. You're basically doing this in order to promote. If you don't have money for marketing, what I would do in the beginning, you have to spend money. Maybe some of the money that you make off of eBay, Etsy, or whatever, you can spend money on advertising your website, you know, to get.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen overnight. It's not. Maybe I just got lucky. After 2 months, I'm getting sales. You know, like I heard there's people that don't get sales for the first 3 months. But even if you get 2 or 3 sales, that's 1 or 2 people talking about your product. Most of my customers, like, they're all return customers, and they heard it from one of their friends. Like, look at their prices. I love their stuff. Whatever they say, which is awesome. You could have the same thing for yours. So make a website today. Literally start today. It's so important. You don't want to jeopardize your family, you know, in case you get kicked off one of these platforms, especially if one of them is like your breadwinner. This is how you make your money. You don't want to jeopardize that. Like, thankfully, I was young whenever I got kicked off. It wasn't the end of the world. I was selling in different places. And actually, that made me start my own website. Because that's why I wish I did it beforehand. But I was so complacent. I was so comfortable. And I was doing so well on Etsy. I had orders coming in, flooding every day. And I was just like, why build my own website? You know, I didn't think that they can ever kick you out. But after reading all the terms and conditions and stories that happen, people are making millions of dollars a year on these platforms and they get kicked off. It happens. So don't wait. Don't hesitate. Make your Shopify or whatever store you want today.
We'll put some links down there for different options. You know, some are free, some are paid, some have like, you know, different fees and stuff. But it's definitely a good option to check out. Also, if you haven't joined our Facebook group, we have a ton of awesome USA sellers, handmade sellers, and drop shippers all coming together and giving each other help, advice, and really just sourcing each other's products too. So we'll leave a link for that as well. And hit subscribe, guys. You know, we're going to put videos out every single day trying to help you guys build your business. So we look forward to putting those out for you. All right, see you guys later.
Take care, guys.